They've been dubbed the Forgotten Generation, and we're actually going to shine a little light on them on this episode of Aspire to Retire. Are they going to like that? I don't know, but it is an important thing to discuss here on this episode of Aspire to Retire with Ralph Short, Tim Short, and Scott Earhart of Welcome Home Financial Partners. You can find them online, find out more about them, set up a time to speak with them, attend their First Friday events at welcomehomefp.com. We made it real easy for you. You can just click the link right there in the podcast description. It'll take you to their website. Once again, welcomehomefp.com. My name is Chris Swan. I will go ahead and say this, an elder millennial, one of the oldest millennials possible. But I am pleased to be joined by Ralph Short, Tim Short, and Scott Earhart. Gentlemen, glad to be with you. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Chris.
Doing well, sir.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. The reason I bring up the generations here is because obviously, a lot of retirees, pre-retirees, they are baby boomers. Peak 65 is what we've talked about. The generation coming up right behind them, members of Generation X, they're getting close to retirement as well. But a new study by Allianz found they're not as confident about how much they've saved compared to baby boomers and even millennials. Almost 60% said they do not have a retirement plan, and only 35% of them work with a financial advisor. So I have to wonder, as they're getting close to being, the next ones up to retire, is there still time for them to prepare for that retirement? And if so, how can you help out?
The scariest thing that I see, in that statement is only 35% of these people are working with a financial advisor. Mm-hmm. I believe that 60% don't think they've saved enough. That's probably true, but with only 35% not, working with a financial advisor, if you don't believe you've saved enough, what are you doing to get there? Yeah. I mean, take action. Certainly, we can help anybody in that time frame, in that age frame, that Generation X.
Only to come in.
We can certainly help them, take a look at where they're going. We've talked about it a lot on this podcast. Our retirement roadmap process will help them understand, have they saved enough? Do they need more? And it will help them visualize what they need to do to achieve that. And we can certainly give them some suggestions, give them some options to help them achieve that. But it all starts with taking personal ownership of your retirement, raising your hand, reaching out, sitting down with a financial professional to help you understand where you're going and how to get there.
And we know the reason why people don't hire financial advisors, right? Nobody likes them. And two is that they're worried about the fees. So if you feel like you're, like Scott was saying, if you feel like you haven't saved enough and you're not working with a financial advisor, well, what if you paid a financial advisor and they got you to where you want to be? So you always got to find the value in anything, right? So if you're paying a fee to a financial advisor, they should be taking care of you when it comes to retirement planning, your investments. It's not just chasing this big number of your 401k, IRAs, Roths, whatever. You've got to make sure that there's a plan behind that money, because everybody will teach you how to climb the mountain, but nobody's going to teach you how to come down the mountain. Mm-hmm. And that's what we kind of specialize in is, we can help with the investing side and make sure that we've got money there. But what's more important is once you get to retirement, we've got to make sure that that big nest egg is going to be there for the rest of your life, because life's going to change. Things are going to be different. Tax codes are going to change. There is one thing guaranteed minus death and taxes, and that's there's going to be change.
So the thing I would say in the stats that you just said, 35% working with financial advisor does not scare me as much, but to understand why 60% of the people within 10 to 15 years of retirement have never set up a retirement plan at work is beyond my comprehension. And because we see people every day more or less say, well, I have a matching program in my 401k, but I don't really participate in it. Well, why? They can't give me an answer because nobody's explained to them why it's important to them. Yeah, it's great to have a plan at work, but if you don't understand why you need to do it for yourself, you're probably not going to do it. So I tell the people that their employer, their HR company should be doing a better job of saying this is why it's important to you. But, the other thing is that 82% of the baby boomers, they're pretty confident, okay, because they've done their job. Maybe not as good as they should have because they had access to companies that put a lot of money into their profit sharing plan, okay, and they didn't have to do anything. We've got clients that are leaving in retirement with $2 million in their retirement plans, and they only put in about $50,000 because all of a sudden their employer had been putting money into it all these years. Now all those plans have changed, so this new generation is not going to get the same type. But that's why it's important that you take control of your destiny. Do not allow somebody else to take control of it. Don't let the government take control of it. You take action, because that is the only way that you're going to accomplish your goals.
Absolutely. And if we look specifically at Generation X, they are ages 44 to 59 is who we're talking about here. If you're on the latter end of that, if you're 59, it's not too late to start having that conversation. And if you are 44, you're on the early end of that, it's absolutely time to start having that conversation with us. The earlier you start planning, the easier it is to obtain those goals. But again, for those that are on the back end of that, it's never too late to start the conversation.
I have friends that, and I promise I'm actually going somewhere with this, who have a cleaning service come by, once a month, every 2 weeks or so, and help them out. And I always hear the stories about the day before the cleaning service comes by. They go by and they do the pre-cleaning. They make sure that things are tidy before, because they don't want to be judged for it. I feel like maybe Gen X, or just people in general, they want to bring, when they come to the table of a financial advisor, they want to say, look what a great job I'm doing. Aren't you happy with me? And here's the thing. Sure, if you've done a good job, they'll let you know that. The team at Welcome Home Financial Partners will let you know that. If you perhaps have not done the greatest job, they're not going to chide you for it. They're not going to tell you, oh, you really should have done X, Y, or Z. But they're going to say, okay, here's where we stand now, and here's how we get to where we want to be. What's the quote? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The journey of your retirement starts with reaching out to the guys at Welcome Home Financial Partners. Whether you feel good about your retirement prospects, you have questions about your retirement prospects. Here's the thing. Best case scenario, you find out you're in great shape, and then wouldn't that be great to know? Stay the course. Maybe there's a couple changes you need to make, but you're on track, whether whatever generation you're in. Worst case scenario, and I don't even really want to say worst, because it's really not that bad of a thing. You find out, yes, there are steps that need to be taken. There is work that needs to be done. But now you know the work that needs to be done and how to course correct and get to having a little bit more retirement confidence, which is something I think we all want out there. We all do, like the show is called, aspire to retire someday. And if you don't have a plan in place, that becomes difficult. So if you have concerns about your retirement prospects, that's my challenge to you. Just reach out, set up a time to speak with the guys. It is no cost, no obligation, but find out where you are right now and how to get to where you want to be. It's real easy. Go to welcomehomefp.com, set up a time to speak with the guys at Welcome Financial Partners. Maybe you don't want to come into the office. You want to meet them in a more informal setting. The First Friday events going on. You can find out how to attend those as well. But really do take charge. Don't be in that 35% that's working with a financial advisor. Up those numbers and hopefully get you feeling more confident about your financial future. Welcomehomefp.com is the website. Want to thank you, as always, for joining us here on Aspire to Retire with Ralph Short, Tim Short, and Scott Earhart. Hope you have a great day ahead of you. Hope you stay safe out there. Gentlemen, always appreciate the time. As we wrap up here, I want to leave you with the final word.
Thank you, Chris. So, we've been talking to Gen X, during this episode, and this kind of applies to baby boomers as well, but they're the ones who are within that retirement red zone. So it's very important to see where you're at, see where you want to be, and see how we can get you there. So give us a call. We'd love the opportunity for you to come into the office and we can continue the conversation. We want to thank everybody for listening, and take care.
All content is for information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax or legal advice or provide the basis for any financial decision, nor is it intended to be a projection of current or future performance or indication or future results. Opinions expressed herein are solely those of Welcome Home Financial Partners and Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC. The information contained in this material has been derived from sources believed to be reliable, but is not guaranteed as to accuracy and completeness and does not purport to a complete analysis of the materials discussed. All information and ideas should be discussed in detail with your individual advisor prior to the implementation. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstance. Advisor services are offered by Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Virginia. Being registered as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Insurance products and services are offered through WPI Holding, Virginia Insurance License Number 138509, an affiliated company. The information contained herein should in no way be construed or interpreted as a solicitation to sell or offer to sell advisory services to any resident of any state other than the state of Virginia or where otherwise legally permitted. Welcome Home Wealth Advisors, LLC, and Welcome Home Financial Partners are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any government agency.